Hi guys, my name is Rich. Welcome to another Gundam action figure review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Gouf, or Gouf, or Gouf, however you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it Gouf, from the Mobile Suit Gundam action figure line that came out a long time ago. Now, this figure, generally speaking, when the Gouf was first released in the show, first debuted, he was blue and black. This version is actually the variant version that came out for the action figures, where he was desert schemed color. So actually, he was more of a chase design. And I got him from a store. I didn't even know. I was just happy I finally came across a Gouf. I was just finally happy to do that. You know, I didn't even pay attention so much or care that he was desert color. And in fact, if I were to say, I would prefer the blue one, personally. If you have a choice between the two, and you're a collector, or you really just want that type of design, you don't want to buy a model and build it yourself, I would probably say go with the blue one. Just me. Anyway, the figure here comes with a good amount of accessories, actually. He has I think it's a heat rod sword, if I remember correctly. Either way, giant sword. Now, this sword was not actually an energy sword. This was similar to, like, the Dom's sword, where they had a sword, and then it would be kind of energized, but when it was turned off, it would still be a sword. It wasn't like the Mobile Suit Gundam RX-78's energy swords, or most other Gundam character or designs in this series, various series, where, you know, they just have the hilt like a lightsaber and then it turns on. This actually was a sword with the hilt, and then it would energize, type of thing. So he can easily hold his sword on his right hand. And what's really cool is actually, if you take off the right hand, he comes with the spare hand, and you're probably thinking, like, what's the point of the spare hand? Well, what you can do is, if you have one of the guns from, like, one of the Zaku's or something, you can actually get him to hold it very easily. So you can give him a main weapon as far as a longer range weapon. So that, I think, is super awesome, that they give you the extra hand. They don't give you the gun, but they do give you the extra hand. So if you wanted it, you could. Now, I suppose if you wanted, say you lose one of the hands or something, you can get him to still hold it with the other hand. And actually, the only problem is, like, if you try to put the gun in this hand, it'll be slanted. So that's kind of why I just choose this hand to be the sword hand, the other one to be the gun hand. So you could do either. Another thing that actually happens in the series is that the Goufs here actually have a electric whip, something like that, where this whip would actually shoot out of their wrist. Where the heck it comes from, I have no idea. There's not like some big pod thing here where it stores. But it would shoot out, and you'd wrap it around somebody. So say, wrap it around the gun tank I have sitting here. You'd, like, wrap it around a part of it. So say you get around its arm. And then it would electrocute it. Electricity would shoot out, and it would just, like, zap and maybe, hopefully, momentarily stun or paralyze or disable whatever it is you're electrocuting. So that was kind of a cool trick, but really, I mean, realistically, when are you going to get an option to really do that most of the time in a battle? Probably not. Now, the way that it would work in the series was that they could actually hold it, but I guarantee you're going to put a lot of stress right there on it, and you're going to break it. So don't do that. But they did in the show. Other features of this figure. The shield is removable. Very cool shield. I just love this design of a shield. It's really great. But what it would do is the shield would actually hide the minigun hand. Now this hand, some Goufs had actually a right and a left hand that were normal. Other times they had these hands here that actually ended in a gun. So he had, so usually if they have the sword, then they'd have this hand as well, so then you could still shoot. So you still had some type of ranged weapon. The shoulders are standard with other, like, Zaku designs, so if you wanted, you could actually remove the shoulders, put on Zaku's shoulders, or you could put these shoulders onto a Zaku. So that was really cool that they're customizable in that sense. And if you've ever played the game, what was it? It was a Xeon game that came out in America for the PlayStation. I think it's Xeon Forces or something like that, where you actually, all the different mobile suits that you could pick, like Zaku's and Dom's and Goufs, you actually could choose, like, what type of weapons they carried, and then you could kind of customize them a little bit. So that kind of extended to the action figures as well. So I think that's pretty cool. Articulation-wise, the head can rotate 360 degrees, but it cannot look up and down. The way that these work, they just had a peg on the bottom of the head, and they just plugged right in. So that's it. The arms are also very limited. His arm cannot reach out. That's it right there. It does not reach out. It can rotate full 360 if you wanted, and then you could salute. Hello. kind of like saluting Hitler, I guess. Well, let's not do that. But yeah, there's not a lot of articulation, range of motion here in the shoulders. It rotates just below the bicep, the elbow rotates, and then the hands can rotate 360 as well. There is barely any chest articulation, so we'll say there is none. No torso articulation. Shoulder, get back on there, you fool. Legs here, hips on a ball joint, so you can rotate about here and kick the leg up. It looks kind of girly. Kick it forward to about there, so not a lot, and then it does rotate very good at the knees and then also at the foot. I would say that the detail of this figure looks pretty good compared to actually how it does in the show. But at the same time, I would say that the design with the arms not being able to rotate at all, because they made the figure so close to how they are on the show, you can't reach out or anything, so that is kind of a drawback. But I guess they're going off of the show, and pretty much all the other mobile suits that I've ever owned were very good and very accurate to the show, so I guess that's more of a design flaw of the show, not so much of the action figure, you know what I mean? Anyway, overall, very cool figure. One of my personal favorites in my collection, just because I love the Gouf. It was just such a cool design. So, there you go. So I would probably give him, I feel like a 4.5 out of 5 for some reason, probably because of those shoulders. So I guess I'm going to go with a 4.5 out of 5. Really, it could lean to a 5, but I would say though, if you're interested in getting into Gundams, you're not sure where to start, this may not be one of the ones you want to start with unless you do like this design of a mobile suit. So there you go with that as well. Plus, they're kind of rare at this point to get one that's desert scheme, but you can find them that are blue a little easier on the internet. Plus, they always have the model kits, so you can build your own, and those are much cheaper. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to go ahead and get going. I'm going to go hide him in the grass. No, I'm not. I don't know what I'm going to do, but bye, guys.